Hello everyone, welcome to the trophy guide and walkthrough for Crypt Custodian. This is a game that I got on sale for about $13 and man did I get a lot of bang for my buck. I'm going to start this one out by asking you guys to please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and if you want to be kept up to date with all of the trophy guides I'm making and the Let's Plays, subscribing is definitely the way to do that so you can get notified. So to start out, I'm going to go ahead and change up some options because I want to make sure that you guys can see the mini-map. There is a small mini-map in the bottom right corner, and a lot of these areas can be very confusing because each room is kind of like a little square and they're all connected. So this is going to help everyone to keep up with where I'm going, because giving verbal directions is going to be tough. So I'm going to go into the gameplay options. I'm going to turn the mini-map on, and that should help everyone to keep up with where I'm going as we go through the guide. Please make sure to keep an eye on that little mini-map. It's very, very useful. So here you can see I'm starting a new game and I'm going to play on normal. I do not suggest playing on easy if you're trying to get the platinum, because when we get back over to the last video, you're going to understand why. You have to do a boss rush mode and beat every enemy on easy, normal, and hard. So I highly recommend playing at least on normal to get yourself used to it. So this is our main character. His name is Pluto, and unfortunately, he has recently passed away. But little does he know the adventure is really just beginning. So as you can see, I'm going to let all of the dialogue play out when you speak to a character, so you can read it if you like. And once you finish speaking to that cat, we want to make our way over to Kendra. This is kind of just an introductory tutorial level, so just follow the path that you see me taking. This is a very, very small area, and you really can't get lost because it's just an introduction. When you see this guy's name is Pip, when you see him, you can stop and speak to him. But there are several characters. You're gonna make a whole bunch of friends. Essentially, to get to the end, you have to make 10 friends. So you're gonna be talking to a lot of other spirits in here. So make sure you speak to them when you see them. Kendra is kind of like the gatekeeper. She decides who gets to go to the palace and who gets banished. Once you grab your broom, this is going to be your main weapon. And as you can see, I'm breaking these statues to follow another path. You have to do this. You really don't have a choice in order to progress. So go ahead and do that, and it also kind of gets you used to using your weapon. You see that switch that I just hit? You're going to see several of those throughout the game. When you see one, most of the time you're going to want to hit it. It'll usually move platforms so that you can access other areas. And Just for story purposes, you might want to think about the fact that in order to progress, you have to destroy statues, because that's going to be somewhat vital to the story arc overall. Once you get up here, you can speak to Pip, and we're gonna go inside and talk to Kendra. Pip seems super nice, and you kind of wonder why he's not in the palace. So speak to Kendra, and I'll meet you guys after the dialogue. Once you've had that very weird conversation, you can go and talk to Pip before exiting through the door on the left. And once you do this, you will earn the Very Bad Cat trophy. This is the first trophy that you're going to earn. We have 48 more to go. There are quite a few here. And as you can see, there is trash piles everywhere. We want to clean those up because the trash is actually going to be our currency. So when you see them, make sure to break them up so you can collect all of the trash pieces. And if you look at your mini map, it shows that there is a path to the north. So that's the way that we want to go. This is our first enemy. The enemies in this area are pretty easy. But don't rest on your laurels, because they do get much more difficult as we go along. Collect all of the trash in this area. And when we go up, we see a well. This is our save point, and also where we're going to be equipping upgrades and special attacks. We're going to get a few of those here pretty soon. So once you finish with the well, go to the right path and take care of the enemies here. Keep an eye on the different attacks that they perform so that you can be prepared. You don't want to get swarmed and not be able to move. There are oftentimes hidden trash piles, so be sure to look for those. We cannot cross that gap just yet, so we're going to go back the way that we came from, over by the well. And we need a key to open up this door. That is the Sinner's Inn. And we definitely want to go in there. There's a lot of useful things in there. So when we take the path to the left, when you see these statues, this is kind of like a little mini challenge. You want to defeat all of the enemies. Once you defeat the ones that pop up, then you will get more, and you can see how many you have to defeat at the bottom of the screen. This is a good way to practice, and it's also a good way to collect trash. Just do be careful. Your lives are in the upper left corner. As you can see, I lost 2 of them, but that's okay. So here we want to go north. And when you flip that switch, you get a crate you can hop on to cross over. I know in the minimap some of these areas look pretty small. They can be a lot bigger than they seem. Over on the platform that was to the right, you saw an upgrade point, but we cannot reach it just yet, so we're going to take the left path. Here, just try and take care of the enemies. You can jump over the bow and arrow guys. You can jump over their arrows. See, he got me on that one, but that's okay. And then we need to make our way down. Really, these guys are not too difficult usually, but it can take some getting used to. So go down to the bottom, and we want to get on that dock that leads down. And as you can see, these enemies are holding keys. So as you take out each enemy, you'll see more of the gate becomes unlocked. And then we can head down through there. Once you've defeated them all, you can progress into the next area. The blocks up there, they will crumble when you step on them, the little blue blocks. So you have to pass over them very quickly. We're going to go to the left. All these enemies here, a lot of them will telegraph where they're going to go with their attack. So try to make note of that. It will definitely help you later on. So here you'll see these blocks will crumble when you step on them. So don't waste too much time on them. They do reappear after a couple of seconds. And we can now take the right path. Here we find the key to unlock the Sinner's Inn. Hit the switch and we can cross over, and this is going to bring us back to an area we've already been to. Follow the minimap, head back toward the well. You see that upgrade point? We can't get to it yet, but we will soon. So as we come back here, just step up to the gate and choose to unlock that gate. And we can go inside. This is kind of like a little tavern. Speak to Marla. Marla is going to have different upgrades for sale. So as we collect trash, we want to come over to her to collect all of them. We're going to start with the super sweep. This is the special attack. Here she's telling you, you know, to come back whenever you have enough trash. We're going to end up buying all of these, and there are even more that we can't see yet. You have to buy some in order for the list to move up. But as you can see, they cost quite a bit. So for now, the only one that we can afford is the spirit buffer. So I went ahead and purchased it. You can do this however you like. This gives item marker or major markers. I don't use these at all, but, well, I guess you can use them, but you have a guide, so you really don't need to waste your currency. You can walk over here and speak to the bouncer. Eventually, we will be able to enter this VIP room, but for right now, we're not allowed in. Come over to the jukebox and Marla will tell you that she doesn't have any discs for it. So that's kind of a little side quest that we're going to be doing. We're going to try and collect all of the discs. Once we exit, you can see that we now have access to a new area. Come to the well, and here you can equip what you have purchased. So the spirit buffer and the super sweep. Make sure to equip all of those. If you walk back into the Sinner's Inn, you can actually speak to Kendra, which is a little weird because she lives in the palace, so it's a little odd that she would be hobnobbing with all of the sinners. So while she's talking and trying to make us like her, I just want to point out that if you notice that when I go to a new area, if I get all of my lives back, if I went into an area and I was missing 3 and then I come into a new area and I have them, I want you to know that I did a lot of dying in this game. So I pieced together multiple videos just to make it more efficient for you guys. So there's that. Also, the little jar that's on the side of our lives, that when that jar is fully blue, then that means we can use our special attack, and the more hits that you perform on enemies, the more it fills. So I don't use my special attack very often unless it's for a boss or a particularly difficult enemy. So we went up the stairs and then we went up on the map, and we want to go on the dot to the right. And as we go through the area, you'll see we come to that upgrade point we saw earlier. When you pick it up, you get your first point trophy. We have to earn at least 50 points, but you can earn more than that. So once you pick up that upgrade point, head back up to the room we were just in. And when you see me pausing like this, especially in the beginning of the game, it was a little bit confusing, so I do stop and check my notes pretty often, but this also gives you an opportunity to take a look at your mini-map and see the different ways that we can actually progress. So we want to go to the left, and when you come up here, you'll see there's another statue that gives enemies. That was the super sweep attack. And you can see my jar was emptied. Now it has to be refilled. But as you hit the enemies, it does refill itself. Here there's quite a few that are going to pop up, so try to be careful. This is probably the first real challenge of the game. This will become very normal later on, so try not to panic too much about it. Keep an eye on that jar. You can use the super sweep again if you need to. Now, once that is completed, we want to follow the path to the right. This is going to bring us to a room that will connect. As you see, as you discover new rooms, they connect to each other a lot of the time. So here, be careful on those blocks. We have more enemies here that give keys to unlock a gate to a new path. So take all of these guys out. Don't forget to collect all your garbage, of course. And here you can see that gate unlocked that goes up. But for right now, we're actually not going to head in that direction. We're going to take the right path. Over here, there are lots of crumbling blocks. So make sure that you time yourself as you jump across here. Follow the path that I am taking. We are about to collect our first disc. Hit the switch, and once these boxes appear, if you head down, you will see that there's a jukebox disc. Be sure to grab it. Now there are several different ways that we can go, but for now we're going to take the path to the left, and that's going to bring us up to the area that that gate would have led us to. The gate that we unlocked. Here, just go around and defeat all of the enemies in this area. I know that it can seem a little bit tedious. We're going to be able to move a little bit faster later on, but for now, you do have to walk pretty slow. Here, I'm pretty much just double checking to make sure that I cleared out all the enemies. At the moment, we are in the Weeping Wastes area of the map. The map is actually really, really big by the end of the game. But as long as we stay in Weeping Wastes, these enemies should stay dead if you take all of them out. We want to go to the left path. So as you can see up here, we can't cross over that gap. Take the left path and be very careful with the blocks. And here, if you head down, you'll see this skull statue. This is a curse. We have a trophy for breaking every curse in the game, so we definitely want to take on this curse. It gives you instructions for what you have to do to break the curse and what the reward is. So we will earn an upgrade point if we take on the curse and break it. Most of these curses are related to defeating enemies. Some of them are actually hindrances, but that comes much later. So of course we need to defeat 15 enemies in order to break this curse. And the enemies also explode when they die. Here is a challenge. It is defeat a horde of enemies without taking damage. We want to do all of these challenges. There's no associated trophy, but it does give very good rewards. So take your time. Try not to move too fast. Be careful when the enemies die. As you know, they will explode. And if you die, you just basically you just reset the challenge. Here you can see we earned the Hexed Hero Trophy. That is for breaking a curse. So now the enemies will no longer explode. This will be a lot easier. Yeah, the challenges that are in the chests. See, we got a whole bunch of garbage and a new upgrade point for breaking, for defeating that challenge. So you want to make sure to do all of those. They give really good rewards. The curses give good rewards too. So we did get an upgrade point for breaking that curse as well. Now we want to exit to the left. Follow the path downward. You see that jar there in the bottom corner? We're heading over to that in just a moment. For now, we want to go up. I think I was a little nervous about jumping the gap. This is where we got the curse just a minute ago, and the statue's now gone. Go upward and we find a well. For now, I'm just going to continue going up because we're about to get our next side quest. This cat spirit in the jar. All of her children have been trapped inside of jars, so we need to find them all. There are 20 in total. You can stop and save at the well if you like. So the jar that we just saw, the green jar that was kind of moving, we're going to head down to that and free our first spirit. Most of these are pretty easy to spot, but there are a few that require special abilities to be able to get to them, or they're on hidden paths. So as you go down, you hit the jar with your broom and you earn the trapped spirit trophy, and that's for releasing one spirit. So if you would go back up to that spirit cat in the jar, you would see that she now has one child sitting by her, and each time you go in after freeing new spirits, you will get rewards for that. And the rewards differ. So sometimes you'll get garbage, sometimes you might get an upgrade point, sometimes you might even get upgrades that you can equip. So be sure to periodically go back there to collect your rewards. For now, we're going to go up and to the right. As you go up the path, you'll see there are enemies that you can take care of. It looks like the only way we have not gone so far is up, but we cannot go up yet. So we'll work our way to the right instead. As you can see, some of these enemies have come back. Just randomly, I did get the Tiny and Tidy trophy, and that's for defeating 100 enemies. You'll get this naturally through the course of your playthrough, so don't expect to get it exactly where I got it. I did die several times, so I'm sure I defeated a lot more enemies than what you've seen on screen. So that's just random. As we go to the right, this is a new area. We have another one of these statues for defeating enemies. Don't forget about your special attack. It's very easy to fill up the jar, so don't worry too much about using the special attack. And don't fret too much. If you are struggling with any of these enemies, it's going to get a whole lot easier. So once you've taken care of all of these enemies, if you go upward, you'll see we have entered a new area called Pearl's Shrine. So we're now out of the Weeping Wastes. And talk to the spirit here. This is Pebble. And we're gonna make friends with Pebble. You can also see that there is a well in this room, so make note of that. Pebble gives us a little bit of insight into our fate. You know, you might be thinking that it's super unfair that we were sentenced to clean for all eternity, but Pebble makes sure that we know that everyone gets sentenced to clean for eternity. So it's not that we were such, you know, a terrible cat in our life. It's just kind of how things go here. Here, I'm just going through this room, collecting all of the garbage. Here you can see that that door is locked, so we're gonna have to find a key. I'm gonna come over to the well and save. Every time you interact with the well, you do get a refill on your lives. And it is also very prudent to save often, because when you die, when you lose all of your lives, you are teleported to the last well that you saved at. So if you just like interact with the well, you'll get your lives back, but if you don't actually save, you might die and end up back at a well that was pretty far away. So we want to go to the right. This is pretty easy. You want to hit that cat spirit head over to the right to open up that gate. Then come around and hit it back to the left, and you see that that gate is the little cat faces are filling. Once the gate's open and the cat's back over here, you can hit it upward to that little dais, I guess. And when the gate opens, you get the ditch effort upgrade. It makes your attacks 30% stronger at low health. So that's something. You can equip it at the well if you like. For now, we're going to go to the right and we get another one of these enemy statues. You can see this area has new enemies. Every time you enter a new area, you will get new enemies. So at least, you know, it kind of changes things up and doesn't get too monotonous. Once you've taken care of all of these enemies, you see that it shows that we can go to the right, but there's actually no way for us to get there right now. So we're going to go down. And I'm sure you've noticed, and I didn't say anything about it, but the upgrade we equipped, you see those little spikes that are circling around us? When they touch an enemy, it hurts them. Here you can see over there is a gate with the little cat faces on it. So in order to open this gate, we're going to have to move another cat somewhere. For now, we're going to go down and to the right, and we are going to collect our first photo. This is of Pebble. You can see we have a lot of photos to collect. There are 3 for each friend that we make. And there's a trophy associated with collecting each picture in each collection. So once we get all 3 for Pebble, we will get a trophy for collecting all of her photos. You can also look at Pluto's photos as well. We saw them earlier when talking to Kendra, but you can have a closer look if you choose to. So once you're done, go back up. And here, if you go to the right, you'll see that there is a cat on the dais. There, we want to hit it up and to the right so that it bounces off the wall to get to the next area. And that's going to go ahead and open up that gate we saw. See, now the gate's gone. We're going to be doing a lot of puzzles that are kind of like that. And you do have to be aware of the environment. Because it's not always as simple as just hitting the spirit head directly onto the next dais. There, I didn't mean to exit the room, but I did. I took the easy route with that guy because he couldn't get me from across the gap with his, I don't know, his prongs, whatever they are. And those guys do kind of blend in, the bell enemies. They blend in with the jars sometimes, so do beware. Here we have another gate, and as you can see, we can't get it straight, so we want to hit it up, let it bounce off of the gate, and run down and hit it to the right before it can float away. Pretty simple. Up and to the left, we get another enemy statue. So go ahead and take care of all of these guys. And I jumped right into that one. That one is not too difficult. It's only 4 enemies. So as you can see, if we go to the left, it will take us to a room that we have already been in. If you're looking at the mini-map. And I do often wonder, like, are all these bad guys made out of garbage? It's weird that as you hit them, they drop garbage. But when we get hit, we don't lose our garbage. I don't know. We cannot go to the right there just yet. We will be able to later, but for now and for a long time, we're not going to be able to access that area. So we just want to go up and to the left. This gives us the key. So we can now go back to where the well is and open up that door that was locked earlier. And as you can see, this takes us back to a room we've already been to. If you hit the lever, that platform will start moving. I'm sorry. Jump up here because there is an upgrade point hidden. There you can see I'm running low on my health, so I'm trying to be very cautious. But the very next room has a well, so that's a plus. I think I'm just a little nervous in case I encounter any enemies, but I didn't really remember where I was, what the room looked like. So we're safe for now. We can head over here and interact with the well to save and refill our lives. I did come over here first to unlock the door. Here I'm going to go ahead and equip the ditch effort because I have the points to be able to do it. And we get the ready for battle trophy. And that's for equipping a special attack. But for now, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. Be sure to come back for part 2. And until next time, Kaji always has wares.